Good evening and welcome to our stemtech Wednesday night opportunity presentation call. My name is Ro, the host. It is my pleasure to welcome you here this evening. If by chance this is your first time checking us out or first time joining us in the meeting, we're so glad you took the time to join us. We're going to be going over some great information that you do want to take notes for. The first part of our call is going to be a little bit more about the products. So if you have some questions about what they are, what some of the ingredients are, maybe what it does, you're in the right place. The second part was we're going to go over a testimony from one of our leaders. And then the last part is we're going to have a business presentation wrapped around the products and letting you know how you can make some money at sharing the information about these wonderful products if you decide to. With no further ado, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Like I mentioned, my name is Ro, the host, and I am a native San Franciscan. I live in Silicon Valley, and I've been part of this company for about 5 years now. And it was a very wise decision. And I had questions, but the good news is I got all the answers I needed and then some. So, with all that being said, what's kept us open all these years that we're going to talk a little bit about during our product part of this presentation is the products. And guys, people are still taking these products to this day since the beginning. And that's what keeps us our doors open. And even more so, that's what makes us unique. But first, we're going to have our first presenter, Mr. Barry Bevier. He's going to come on and he's going to share with us the ins and outs of the products. So buckle up. Here we go. Mr. Barry, are you there?
Hey, I am Rowan. Thank you very much.
You're very,
Uh,
very welcome.
so I'm going to spend a little time this evening going through our RCM system, our primary core products. Before I get started, though, I'd like to tell you just a little bit about me and how I got started with STEMtech. And we can't talk about the products really without knowing at least a little bit about the companies, which Sam is going to go into in detail later in the call. So I'm Barry Bevier. I'm in Manning, South Carolina, and grew up on a farm, had over 3 decades in civil engineering, most of it in Southern California. And about 15 years ago, my wife passed away. She had an autoimmune disease, and after being treated for 20 years with pharmaceuticals that we knew were harmful to her body, she was diagnosed with liver and kidney disease that the doctors were not able to do anything to heal her. During that period, we were looking for natural remedies, something to get her off of the pharmaceuticals. And, 15, 20, 25 years ago, there wasn't the resources that we have today. And a couple years after, so I was looking for solutions even after she passed away to be able to help other people avoid what happened to our family. I was introduced to STEMtech a couple years after she passed away through a friend who was actually a corporate working at STEMtech Corporation, and got started on the product and realized just how much it can do to help our health. I had very good results with it and have since left engineering, made my focus on wellness, and StemTech and our stem cell nutrition products are a very big part of that. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm going to share my screen here and get started with a little introduction about STEMtech and then a little bit more about our products. So we're about to celebrate our 20th anniversary. STEMtech was founded in 2005. To date, we've had over 600 million in sales. I think that's probably a low number. We are truly the pioneers in stem cell technology and stem cell nutrition. StemTech was the first one to come to market after many years of research and clinical studies to show the efficacy of our products. So our products are all backed by scientific research, and really they're time proven since we've been here for as many years as we have. We have new management team since 2018 that has decades of experience in building businesses to global level companies, both in network marketing and in nutrition. So we have a good management team in place. And in the past, StemTech has been listed by Forbes magazine as one of the fastest growing nutritional companies uh, in the U.S. Um, Oops, what happened there? So a little bit about stem cells. Stem cells are a undifferentiated cell that is made and held in our bone marrow. And really, stem cells are the foundation of our health and wellness. Stem cells have been clinically shown to be related to not only our wellness and our healing, but also anti-aging. So the more stem cells we have in our body, the slower we will age, the quicker we will heal, and the healthier we will be. So everybody has stem cells, and the process I'm going to describe goes on in our bodies every day, 24/7. So stem cells are made and held in our bone marrow, and all of our tissues and organs deteriorate. Cells die, and those cells need to be replaced. And it's stem cells that create that replacement. So when an organ or tissue needs new cells just from the normal cellular degradation that our bodies go through, or an injury or a disease, um, that particular organ or tissue sends a signal, and stem cells are released from the bone marrow and circulate through our system to that organ or tissue. And then here's where the magic occurs. They're undifferentiated. They aren't associated with any type of cell or organ until they come in proximity to those organs and tissues. There, they migrate into the tissue and then transform into that particular organ. And it doesn't matter what type of organ it is in our body. It can be a brain cell or a heart cell or a muscle cell or a kidney or liver cell. That's the magic of stem cells. They transform. And then there they help the organ and tissue to heal and rejuvenate. And so this process goes on in our bodies day in and day out, whether we're young or old, sick or healthy. It's our natural system of renewal. So if we already have stem cells in our body and this process is going on, why are we talking about stem cell nutrition? Why has StemTech been so successful over the past 20 years? Well, this diagram shows exactly what happens to stem cells in our body. When we're born, we have billions of stem cells in our body. And you can think how quickly babies grow and how quickly actually they heal when they're young. And then you can see even preteen and teenage years, that level of stem cells drops off dramatically. And then look farther to the right on the chart. And when we're in our 20s and 30s and older, the stem cell level being released is a lot less. Well, that's where we start to see aging. We start to see healing happen slower. We start to see the onset of more what we call age-related diseases. And once you're over 50 in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, that level of stem cells being released drops dramatically. So if we could keep the level of stem cells at a higher level, doesn't it make sense that we could age slower, that we would heal faster, that we could be healthier? And that's absolutely right. And that's what STEM tech is all about. We're the gold standard of stem cell nutrition. We have three primary products that support that natural stem cell system that I spoke about, releasing stem cells, helping them circulate in our bloodstream, and then migrate into the tissues. So stem release 3 is the third generation of our stem cell release product. It supports our natural renewal by releasing more stem cells into our bloodstream when the signals from tissues and organs are sent to them. So it helps with healthy aging and the overall renewal process. Stem flow supports our circulatory system and helps the stem cells and all nutrition really flow better through our circulatory system to get to our tissues and organs to provide the nutrition and stem cell support that they need. And then microstem, the third part of the RCM system, supports the natural migration of stem cells through cellular signaling to get the stem cells to the where they're needed most, and also help migrate into the tissues. So these products support our natural renewal system. All the ingredients are 100% natural and organic, and they also support our mitochondria, which is the cellular energy system, and also supports our telomeres, which are an important part of the aging process. All of our products have been researched, and there's articles in journals about them, and we hold patents on the products and processes to protect them. So I've shared a little bit about how our products work from a natural standpoint, but we hear a lot now that the medical profession is using stem cell therapy to treat people for diseases and injuries. And this slide shows a few of the many diseases that are treated. And so this therapy is where you get an infusion or an injection of stem cells. And they may be your own stem cells, or they may be stem cells from a stem cell bank that have been obtained typically through umbilical cord stem cells that have been donated by the birthing mothers. I happen to know a person who owns a stem cell therapy clinic here in South Carolina. These therapies are invasive, they're expensive, and they aren't a one and done type therapy. Uh, the clinic that I'm familiar with has 3 different levels of stem cell infusion, ranging from $4,000 to $10,000 per treatment. And they know that their clients come back multiple times. It may take one or more treatments to heal the body, and then they come back every 6 months for a renewal of this therapy. So if we have a system that can support our natural stem cell renewal system and not cost so much money and be our own stem cells, why wouldn't we do that? So stem cells are the future of our natural health care. Stemtech has trademarked the term STEMceuticals as a indication that this is where we are as leaders in the natural healthcare industry. So we are the pioneers of stem cell nutrition with one-of-a-kind products that are designed to support the 3 most important aspects of our stem cell physiology: releasing more stem cells, assisting their circulation in through the bloodstream, and then migrating into the tissues where they can perform their natural function to renew our bodies for optimal health. So that's what I'm going to share tonight, Ro, and I would just like to encourage everyone to look at where your health is. And if you're looking for a natural system, natural wellness, I would encourage you to make a commitment to start on our RCM system and be on it for 4, 5, 6 months, because it takes a little time for our bodies to heal themselves. But I've been on the product for over 12 years now. I feel younger than I am, and I know it's helped my body maintain good health throughout the years. So thanks a lot, Ro. I will turn it back to you.
Thank you so much, Barry. Guys, you heard a mouthful. If you didn't know what these products are, now you have a better idea. Please look into it if you need to know more. We have plenty of information to share. Thank you again, Barry. So, guys, we're now pivoting towards the second part of our presentation, and we have a special guest leader that's going to be joining us. He's going to share a testimony that's personal to him and give us some insight. And his name is Mr. Izzy Matos. Now, if you don't know Izzy, he's one of the funnest guys you'll ever know, and he's all heart, and he's a good friend, and I'm honored to call him a friend. So with no further ado, Mr. Izzy Matos. You're still muted, Izzy.
There we go. Just goes to show anybody can get on the show. You know, sharing tonight, I appreciate the fact that I followed Barry because some of the things that Barry shared are really significant. And I just want to spend a few minutes on that. When I was part of the company and we launched it 20 years ago, the whole concept behind stem cells, and you guys have heard me say this repeatedly, was viewed as science fiction. We talked about doctors using stem cells as a therapeutic or a palliative resource today. 20 years ago, this was viewed in the United States as illegal and almost as science fiction. And you've heard me say 100 times that I had doctors deride me when I made the claim 20 years ago that stem cells were the core system for the repair, renew, and repair, for the repair, restore, and renewal system for the body. They laughed at me. Other parts of the globe were incredibly open to what we're doing. When you fast forward to today, Barry's right. People spend tens of thousands of dollars for stem cell injections. Why? Because over the course of those 20 years, the process has been validated, but it is expensive and it is painful. My own daughter went through this despite my pleas not to do it. But here's some facts, guys. Stem cells work. There's no disputing it. Everybody knows it hands down. But not all stem cells work. As Barry said, you can go for a PRP, a stem cell injection. You know, they're great. They have tremendous benefit. People are crazy about them. But there is a reality that for all that expense and all that discomfort to get remediation for situations within your body, only 10% of the cells that are introduced into your system are going to take. The other 90% basically get passed out of the system, or some of them, if they are your own endogenous stem cells, will migrate back into your bone marrow to be used at another time. Now, why is that significant? Because if you're dealing with a chronic issue, only 10% of those cells are going to work. You're still faced with the possibility that your body will not repair, will not restore, and will not regenerate to the point that you need. But look at the case of economics. Why is stemtech the tip of the spear? Because you can spend let's say $10,000 for one injection, of which only 10% of those cells will work, and they may inject 5 to 10 million stem cells into your body. Or you can look at the option that we offer you. For the cost of an RCM system, every single day, your body will release literally the same amount of cells that are injected into your system on that one-shot deal. So if you spent $10,000 for approximately 5 to 10 million stem cells, let's go low, one-shot deal, 5 million stem cells, or you can take the RCM system every single day, have 5 to 10 of your own stem cells introduced into your body's bloodstream and have them circulate, migrate, replicate, and do that repair, restore mechanism, not just on a one-shot deal, but for the cost of that one application. You could literally do this every single day, same amount, for the next 6 to 8 years. That's incredible. Think about what your body can do in 6 to 8 years to restore and repair itself. It literally is unlocking the senolytic system in your body, discarding bad cells that aren't functioning, replacing them with these endogenous cells that are ready to go, ready to work, ready to identify the damaged areas in your body. It literally is, and I hate to sound hyperbolic, a fountain of youth concept. Because every day as your body faces these challenges, you've got these army of cells migrating through your system, non-invasive, they're resident, they're working, they're yours, they're not going to be rejected for a fraction of what those situations are going to cost. That's what's made stemtech such a pioneer in this industry. We created this market niche. We were the company that first patented this. And if you don't believe that something like this is going to work, just look around. Barry talked about all these amazing applications. when we started our company, the initial research that was done by us was done at McGill University in Canada, one of the premier research facilities in North America. And they validated that our concept worked, and that's how we got our patent. But McGill went on to the concept of what else can be done with this. People are growing teeth in universities using adult stem cells. Think of the future of dental care. If your body stem cells can now be introduced and programmed to grow teeth. Not long ago, Emory, the university down south, released the fact that they've developed a gel that is stem cell based, which applied to third degree burns, second degree burns, skin damage, ameliorates that damage in days. No grafting, no painful procedures, just a patch with the person's stem cells, and the stem cells will repair, restore, and regenerate the body's damage. Now, we don't cure, we don't heal, we don't make any claims like that. All we do is support the body's natural repair renewal system in a way that is affordable, a way that is practical, and a way that it works. And I'll close with this joke. I've been with the company for 20 years. For the last 20 years, I've been consuming our product, and I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I take it every single day religiously. Life happens. I forget every now and then. But I've been taking the product for the last 20 years. And when I compare my lifestyle, my energy levels, my physical appearance to the friends that are in my peer group, they just shake their heads. They swear that I made a pact with the devil. They swear that I'm doing something. I must have some kind of time machine in there, because while they're all aged, wrinkled, and couch potatoes with white hair, I'm still hopping around doing the things that I do. When they ask me why, I tell them I found a miracle in a bottle that for pennies on the dollar will guarantee the quality of life that I want to enjoy, so that I can spend the rest of my life in a way that most people can't, because I'm doing what they're not doing. So if you're looking at the company for the first time and you're wondering about the science, just check us out. We've grown tremendously, and we wouldn't have done that. We wouldn't have sold over 10 million bottles, done almost $1 billion in sales if this product didn't work. And I'm living proof of that. The last 20 years have shown that not only are we on the right track, we continue to be the tip of the spear. So that's my 2 cents. I hope that counts. Thanks, guys, for letting me on with you.
Thank you, Izzy. Guys, you heard it from one of our leaders, and just understand the profound information he shared with the experience of being around this company for 20 years and seeing the growth and seeing the customers and just everyone being affected by it. There's power in our products. Thank you again, Izzy, for your wisdom. So, guys, we're pivoting to the last part of this call. And this part is the part if you want to switch hats and you're considering maybe starting your own business and wondering how can you have a stem cell nutrition business? Well, I'm glad you waited, because this is where you're going to find out how. And one of our leaders, Mr. Sam Holland, is going to share that with you. Sam, are you there?
I'm here, Ro. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Barry, thank you for all the information you shared. Izzy, always inspiring. Guys, if you're a guest on here, hold on. Listen, take this information in. If you are existing distributors with the company, understand something. We're about to take off in a big, big way. And this is going to give a lot of people an opportunity to create something for their children's children. So as we go through it, I'm going to share my story first. I'm a father of 4, been married 30 years, been a business owner my whole life. StemTech came into my life about 5 years ago. I'm excited to see the people that we get to help, the lives we get to change, and how we get to make a difference. So let me go ahead and jump in this thing and share the screen. Give me just 1 second, guys. As we were talking about StemTech itself, the key ingredients for a perfect business, there's got to be a demand. People must be looking for it. They must be willing to pay for it and stay on it. Products, they must be consumable. They must be effective. They've got to work. Companies and partners. Company has to have longevity. We got 20 years here. They got to have vision. They got to have partners that not only know where they're at, but know where they're headed. You got to have systems and teams. What I mean by that, there's got to be a system wrapped around that attracts the CEO, that attracts the ditch diggers, that attracts everybody, because stem cells affects everybody. But then you got to have a team of people that are going to help, that are going to encourage, that are going to demonstrate and teach you how on a part-time basis to build a business. And then success and profit. That one's easy. How much do I need to invest? Not only money-wise, but time-wise. And then how soon do I get that investment back? And then what's the profit behind it? We're going to hit these different ingredients tonight. Every single one, we're going to check them off. The first is Warren Buffett, talks about the S curve. He makes this statement: you must position yourself in front of the growth curve, not at the end, not but at the inception, and then realize that the window of opportunity is always closing. So work like there's no tomorrow. Guys, there's three phases here: pioneering, momentum, stabilization. Every company that succeeds, they go through this process. When you're involved in the pioneering stage, why is that important? Because you're first. 80% of the growth of the company is in front of you, not behind you. When you hit that momentum stage, that's where the growth really starts to happen. That's where the stability, the strength, the name is out, it's branded. And then the stabilization, these are the monster companies like a Microsoft, an Amway, a Walmart, an Apple that everybody knows. But now they're growing 3 to 7%. Now, here's the question. Here's the point that Warren Buffett makes. Would you rather have 80% of the growth in front of you in the pioneering stage, or would you rather have 3 to 7% in the stabilization stage? Guys, the pioneering stage with stemtech is blowing us out of the water. Why? Because of stem cells. It's the hottest topic out there. Everybody's talking about it. All kinds of companies are jumping in. We know that. We're the originators. We started the stem cell nutrition world. We're the first of its kind. We have not been duplicated. And guess what? Every human being on the planet will benefit from what we offer. The CEO makes one statement that just excites me to no end. Our products are so good, every home on the planet should have them in them. We're publicly traded. Why is that important? Because we're an open book. We have absolutely nothing to hide. And that's good and bad. It's great because you know what you're dealing with. It's bad because if we do make a mistake, you know what you're dealing with. That was important to me because I did not want to invest my time into a company that wasn't going to pay back. Now, who are the leaders? Well, Charles Arnold is the CEO of the company. He's had 40 years experience taking companies from the private world to the public world. He knows what he's doing. He's had great success. He's taken companies from 50 cents a share to $50 a share. You have John Meyer. I call him the heart and soul of STEMtech. Been on board since 2006. Loves the company, loves the difference it makes in people's lives, and he loves the growth potential we're at. Sandra and Alejandro, they're in the field. These are the guys that help us build. These are the guys that knows the ins and the outs and how to make things work and how to support us. And then Daryl Green. Check out that name. Look who that man is. That is the ex-CEO of GNC Nutrition. I spent 45 minutes on the phone with Daryl. And honestly, when I first took a look at this, my goal was not to figure out why I was coming to STEMtech. I was trying to determine why I wasn't going to come to STEMtech. Daryl made an impact on me that changed my life. About 38 minutes into the conversation, I finally said, Daryl, stop. With all your success, you've seen every all natural product on the planet through GNC. You know what's out there. Why are you here? And his words floored me. He said, Sam, I've seen every all natural product out there. I've never seen a product line do what this can do. He said, on the other side, my significant others in the stem cell therapy world, we know the future. We know everybody's heading towards stem cells. And when Charles Arnold brought the opportunity to me to be part of the front end of STEMtech, it was a no-brainer. The moment he said that, I knew there was something magical. This is the leadership. How do you get on board? This is a business opportunity. You can come on board as a VIP, you buy at wholesale pricing. If you're not sure about the business side, become a customer. Get your story. Once you get your story, the business side is pretty simple why you're going to do it. But if you do want to invest and become a business partner, startup cost is $349. Understand that cost alone, you got over $349 at wholesale or retail on the product line. This is enough for your first month's supply for you to start to gain your story. Now, with that comes a business in a box. Everything you need to create a business, build a business, and let it grow around the world. Now, I started a garbage compactor company 20 years ago. Made one mistake my first month, cost me $18,000. This is a startup opportunity that gives you the products that you need to consume for yourself for under $350. To me, I didn't see the risk. It was a no-brainer. It was a fantastic opportunity. What does that bring with it? Well, count on the assets. The company itself, stemtech. They do all production, quality control, shipping, customer service, R&D, web IT, legal and compliance, marketing, events and promotions, and accounting. If you ever owned your own company, you know 80% of the background is right there. Only thing we do is get our story, share our story, and educate others on what stem cell nutrition can do for them and their health. Guys, that's powerful. How do you get your money back? How do you recoup a return on your investment? Well, we're going to help you build a business. We do it online. You can build it anywhere you want. And the beauty is this, your first three people that say, yes, I want the business advantage, the tax advantage, and the health advantage. The first three you bring in, you get $50 per person. That's $150. You do that within a 30-day period. Company sees you as a leader. They're going to pay you additional 150. So now your first month in business, you made $300. What did you do? You got your story. You help other people understand the value of their own stem cells and how stem cell nutrition could benefit them. And you signed them up to be part of the team. And you made a $300 profit. Not bad. Now, some of them are not going to want to be a business builder. They're just going to want to be a consumer. We love VIPs. Those are customers that buy at wholesale pricing. The value to VIPs is you get a 30% commission. Meaning this, when they sign up on RCM Wellness System, that's a $39 profit. Now, here's the beauty to that. I've signed people up over 5 years ago that still order, and I get paid that $39 every single month. That's called residual income. That's called doing the work once and getting paid every month for the effort that you put in one time. That's how business works. Well, you help four people just become a customer. That's $156 a month in profit. Now, you're going to invest in your own RCM, which is 159 or 154. You just covered the cost of your own product consumption. Not a bad deal. Now, let's say you're a little more motivated. You want to earn a little more money. We're going to help your three do exactly what you do in your second month, and you'll make an additional $500 profit. Now, in 2 months, guys, you got an $800 profit. We do it through social selling. We have a proven system that works. It's a laptop, cell phone lifestyle. We do weekly corporate training calls. By the way, next week we do have Jeff Ramirez coming on the weekly call, which is going to be fantastic. He runs North America. We have personalized websites all done for you, all the tracking, the management tools, reports, training materials, all turnkey. Only thing you do is get in and tell your story, share your story, help other people understand the value and where we're at as a company. We do it through social sharing. Guys, these Zoom meetings are so beneficial and so helpful. StemTech's beliefs, vision, world leader in cellular nutrition powered by natural stem cell technology. Mission, offer innovation, wellness, and prosperity through an opportunity that empowers people to create their own future. Our motto, backed by science, powered by dreams, possibly your dreams. Our pillars are innovation, wellness, and prosperity. Here's what I want everybody to understand. You've got an opportunity to be on the front end of something that everybody needs, of a new technology that will be accepted all over the world. We are leading that charge. And if you choose to, welcome aboard. Whoever invited you, get a follow-up in the next 12 to 24 hours. Understand where you fit in, figure out what works best for you, and welcome aboard. Ro, turning it back to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sam, for sharing that information on the business. Guys, if the business intrigues you, get with the person who shared this with you. They are motivated to see you succeed and win. And we all here work together and supporting each other. Well, we appreciate you joining us on this call this evening. We do this every Wednesday at same time on the same meeting ID number. So come back and take a look at us again. And next time, bring someone with you. I promise you they'll be intrigued just like you were. With no further ado, I'd like to call this call. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.